I had something approaching a competition on my Facebook page where I said to anyone who is on my page who played guitar, what is a guitar solo you've always wanted to be able to play but you've never quite got it? Now it didn't reach the whole world. It only reached people who were on my Facebook page. So that's like it's about 800 people, most of whom either play guitar or are interested in music. A lot of guys play guitar on that page. And there were only two responses, one from myself and one from my friend Alan, who is in both bands that I play in, 10 Years Gone and Dog Day Afternoon, so we must have something in common. And Alan suggested Push Comes to Shove by Van Halen, which is, I thought, that's a fantastic choice, and at the time I remember Alan saying to me, and we've spoken, about it since, it's the phrasing and the timing, it just makes it very, very difficult to do. And it sounds very difficult, I certainly don't know, I wouldn't be able to play it. So my two were Charlie Sexton's Beat So Lonely, I still find that impossible, and Rick Springfield's Living in Oz, where the guitar solo is played by Tim Pierce. Now, what I think is interesting is around 1982, I had Rick's Living in Oz album and Success Hasn't Spoiled Me Yet. And then I got the Working Class Dog album, which has got Neil Giraldo's incredible solo and Jesse's Girl, which I've done in other videos. But on Living in Oz, all the guitar is played by Tim Pierce. And to be fair, I thought, I don't even know who this guy is. And I think one of the most fantastic things about the whole YouTube internet phenomenon is everybody knows who Tim Pierce is now. He's become a household name now. In 1982, he played, around that era, he played on Bon Jovi's Runaway, he played the incredible solo on John Waite's Change, and he played this one, Living in Oz, which is, as I say, my pick for, I'd love to be able to play this, but, sadly, it's a no-no. And, in those days, if you had said, when people said, people said all the time, what guitar players you like, who are you into? I would say, I really like Tim Pierce. And most people hadn't really heard of him. Whereas now, everybody knows who Tim Pierce is. He's a household name in the guitar world, and rightly so, because he's fantastic. And he seems genuinely nice. He seems a very giving and genuinely nice person, in addition to being a magnificent player. So, I thought it might be fun to go back to the song that I have listened to. I've never really stopped listening to it since '82. Go back to it and think, well, let's have another go at seeing how much of the song you can figure out, and what are the bits that stump you, and why do they stump you, etc., etc. Now, it would be completely disingenuous of me, say I'd been practicing this feverishly for the last 6 months, and I then say to you, I'm going to try and learn the song, but all the time I really can know as much of the notes as I'm going to know. So you'll have to take my word on this, honest, Your Honour, that this is going to be a work in progress, and I just thought it'd be interesting to that is a solo that really bewitches you. It's so fantastic. Let's try and get as close as you can. So in this first video, I thought I would go through all the parts, because the parts themselves are really, really interesting. The first thing you hear is the Living in Oz theme, riff, whatever you want to call it, and it goes like this. Right? Now you may notice something interesting there. It's played over. It's played over F sharp minor, E and D, and Tim comes in with this. Right? So the first two are F sharp, C sharp, and A, and then an A flat A. Same again. But the third one is like a D chord, because we've now hit the, and Tim plays. So we're getting F sharp, D, and B. There's a bend from A to B, and then you pull it down. I've not got the echo, the delay set too high. I had it pretty high yesterday. There are lots of like atmospheric harmonics in this, so you know sometimes when they hit the first chord, you know, pre-chord of a verse, you get timbre, and the note, you know, the harmonic will just sort of fade away. It's great. You can play it with as much delay or reverb as you want. But you know, to get the parts over, here's the first one. Hear it? Right? Now it's played, the rhythm parts are played in a... I don't know about you, but I don't find that comes very naturally. So if I have to play a song like that, I tend to have to practice going. That's the thrust of the verses. So we get this F sharp, which as I say is played. Then A, play the same. Then E, and U I, F sharp minor, and then it's very staccato. Then we get this fantastic bit that goes D, A, E, F sharp minor, right? And then this bit, this bit is just incredible, right? So this is off a B, A, down one, A flat, G, and then up to the C sharp. Now we then get the chorus, which is the living and Oz bit, at which point the keyboards are playing triplets over the top of it. So I hear it as this. This is like, you know, to be living in Oz, and then that chord like that. So to be living in Oz, and then so it's an F sharp minor, a D, D note, and then into the second verse. Now, as regards that chord, for the living in Oz chord, right, or anything else, if anyone says, I don't think that's how he plays it, particularly regarding Tim's solo, which I'm still categorising under impossible, and says, well, I think he plays it here. I would love that, because as I keep on saying, that's how we all learn. That is how we all learn on the guitar, is someone saying, that's good, but I don't think he actually plays it there. I think he plays it here. Right? As I said, there are lots of ghost notes and new harmonics in the song. If you play it, you know, if you turn up the delay very slightly, after the first chorus, the living in Oz bit, and after that bit we go back to, and Tim seems to play that. So it's an F sharp, so I like the bar bang against the cable there. So it's like an F sharp harmonic that just decays. It's great, sounds fantastic, right? So we're now into a bit which is like a bridge, and it ends the song as well. And I'm going to turn the reverb off for this, because this is really dry. And the first time I heard the song, I thought, I That's more like it. That bit just comes out of nowhere, and it really surprises you because it's like a completely dry bit of guitar, no reverb or no delay on it at all. And there's triplets go. It comes in at the end of the song where Tim Pierce plays. And that's the end of the song, right? As I say, it's no reverb, no delay. So to go back to Lorraine and Osbert. Now that part that I just mentioned, that has a lovely lyrical section that ends with Richard Springfield singing, and some just do it on a trail of broken hearts. And this is where Tim Pierce's solo actually starts. And as I say, this is going to be a work in progress. Some of the parts I feel I've never heard in other solos. You know, there's a part we'll get to later on. You know, just very unusual. You know, off an F sharp minor. Which is D, C sharp, up to the F sharp. Right. And there are possibly 3 guitars, I don't know, maybe more, in the solo section. Now the first thing you hear is a harmonic goes. So you've got to time. Right. So I didn't catch that harmonic very well, but it's more squealy. There you go. And Tim plays that line, right? So, with a bit of distortion, fingers crossed you'll catch that harmonic, you know. Like that. Now I was playing on the G string, seems to make more sense to play it on B. And then a line that I thought was, so I thought it was, but it's actually right, and then another guitar part comes in that goes and plays that bend, right, and the other guitar seems to go and pull the C sharp, so. And then another guitar goes, and then we're into the second half of the solo. Now the chords of the solo go, and this is our template, and then we get the second half. Which is where the trouble really starts for me anyway. So as I say, it's a work in progress, and I'll come back to it. So far we've got the intro. Remember to play the D, then this bend, and pull it down. F sharp, and then as I say, no delay, no reverb, and we get this. And then we get the, you know, the solo, which at the moment I hear is and that's halfway through, but as I say, the next section, which also ends with that line, by the way. Is where the tricky stuff really starts. So as I say, if you're interested, if you love the song, bear with me. And if you know any of the licks and how to play this, I will not be offended in the slightest if you say, here's how you do that bit, or that bit's not right, or that harmonic. If you can catch that, a real squeal in it, you're like. Or double stop. We're at least on the road. So there we have it. That's part one of Rick Springfield and Tim Pierce's great guitar solo in Lorraine Oz.